Hello chess lovers, I have a very interesting game for you played by a Ukrainian chess grandmaster Anna Muzychuk. Her opponent is a Romanian woman grandmaster Corina Peptan. This was a rapid game and was played at King's Tournament 2017. Muzychuk started with e4 and c5 by Peptan, Sicilian defense, knight f3, e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, a6, Peptan goes for Khan variation, c4, knight f6, knight c3, bishop b4, queen d3, protecting the pawn on e4, queen c7, a3, bishop takes c3, queen takes c3, and overlooking white's next threat, Peptan captured on e4, but now it turns out that the pawn on e4 was poisoned. You can pause the video and try to find the best move for white. Ready? Muzychuk played knight b5, offering a whole knight. At the same time, this knight is now attacking the queen on c7, and also white is opening up the queen's diagonal. The idea is that if knight takes c3, then knight takes c7, forking the king and the rook, and this is winning for white. After knight b5, Peptan accepted the sacrifice. Now comes queen takes g7, rook f8, and here comes the bishop. Again, this rook is under attack. Queen c5, f3, and now it turns out that this knight on e4 has no safe square. You can't place your knight on d6 because you will close the queen's diagonal. We see b takes c4 and bishop takes c4. White is not hurrying to win this knight. Knight f6, and only now white is capturing on f6. Now as you can see, the bishop on c4 is hanging, but capturing on c4 can be very dangerous because white can capture on f8, and if king takes f8, then queen d8 check, king g7 and queen g5 check, placing the queen on g5 from where it can support white rook. If king f8, then here comes rook c1, and this is winning for white. Let's go back. That's why after queen takes f6, we see rook g8, bishop d3, queen e7, and bishop g7. Well, a better move was keeping the queens on the board, playing queen c3 and then castling kingside, because as you can see, black king is in danger. It's not quite clear where is black going to place her king. But instead, after queen e7, we see bishop g7, queen takes f6, bishop takes f6, rook takes g2, white castles queenside, knight c6, rook g1, rook takes g1, rook takes g1, and now white is threatening to checkmate black king. Knight e7 and bishop takes h7, and now white is getting a very strong passed pawn on h file, which is enough to win the game. Rook a4, bishop c2, rook a5, and there it goes, h4, b6, f4, rook h5, bishop d1, rook c5 check, king d2, bishop b7, rook g5, and a bad move by black, rook takes g5. Well, actually black could prolong the game by playing rook d5 check. If rook takes d5, then knight takes d5, though after bishop e5 still white has a huge advantage. This pawn is very dangerous. Also white has a strong bishop pair. Let's go back. After rook g5, we see rook takes g5, and now white is capturing on g5 with the f pawn. Now this pawn will support the h pawn. Bishop e4, h5, knight d5, h6. This pawn is simply marching towards the 8th rank. Bishop f5, bishop c2, getting rid of this bishop which was covering the h7 square. Bishop takes c2, king takes c2, and black resigned. Well, if a move like knight takes f6, then g takes f6, and there is no way to stop this pawn. Or if knight f4, then again h7, black is losing her knight, and again white is winning. I hope that you enjoyed this game, especially I think that knight b5 sacrifice was very impressive. Good luck.